welcome to Conversations with My Real Friends. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with my friend John. So John is in the mortgage industry. He helps people buy homes, and in particular, a lot of times first-time home buyers. So as a country, we believe in home ownership, right? We give tax benefits and we encourage people to buy homes. In particular for first-time buyers, because it can be so challenging, there's programs out there that can help them. So tell us about what kind of programs exist for first-time home buyers and how can they take advantage of them?
Well, Jennifer, there are so many opportunities. There are just numerous opportunities of loan programs that are available.
Got it.
And it really is going to be very stratified based on your particular situation.
Okay.
So if a home ownership, someone who wants to buy a home, let's say that their income is a little bit lower.
Right.
There's special options and programs for them.
Okay.
And so it's called the area median income. As long as your income is at a certain point, like for instance, normally if you go out and you buy a condominium, a condominium is a great way to get into your first home.
Right.
Well, when you put down 5% or 3.5% or even 3%, because you can put down a really low payment.
Right.
As a first-time home buyer, in many cases you only need 3% down.
Right.
So if you're buying a $700,000 property, it's $21,000.
Right.
Most people can come up with that with savings,
Right.
Or working towards that. And so that is an important hallmark to be able to meet. However, the issue with that is if you're buying a condominium, condominium pricing, unless you put down 25%, usually is a higher rate.
Right.
Because you're putting down less money, and condominiums, they charge a filter, a little bit higher rate for risk.
Right.
Because you're attached to somebody else.
Yep.
But that's still a great thing to do. Well, it just so happens that if you're a first-time home buyer and you have an income within that certain range, you don't get hit for that. And also, you don't get hit for a low credit score, right? So as a result, your score could be a 640, and you get the same rate as if it was a 740.
Wow.
Okay, and so it's amazing what you can do with that. Now, the mortgage insurance will be a little bit higher, but the idea is that there's a real compelling nature. Now, the other thing that's important is that with first-time home buyers, when they look at their payment, because right now when you look at a payment, if you're renting for $3,000 a month, right, and the new payment might be $5,000 a month, you're going, man, that is a huge jump, right? But the one thing that people forget about, see, during the pandemic, rates were so low that nobody could take advantage of the itemized deductions, right? Because their total interest expense did not exceed the $25,000 or whatever it is. Well, today, because the rates are higher, that deduction is now available, and it comes out to as much as $800 to $1,000 a month in hedging of taxes that you don't have to pay, that you can put towards your house payment. So on the first-time home buyers, it's really important to find out, because there's a lot of different stratified programs based on what your income is, what your credit is, how much down payment you have, and then you get a really good idea of what's available. Because there are tons of programs. There's down payment assistance. You can actually buy a home with no money down. You can do 100% financing. And so there are a lot of different variables. There's so much opportunity there. But again, you've got to get with somebody who's knowledgeable that can give you the detail. You don't want to buy irresponsibly, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to buy to where you can actually afford it and know exactly what you're getting into. And that's really what we specialize in. I wrote a book called Buy Your First Home Today, and in that book, it's a book about stories. It's about a book about stories of people who didn't think they could qualify, but they really can.
So making sure that you are getting the right support with people who can give you the tools, guide you to those opportunities that you wouldn't know about otherwise. Great.
Yeah, there's there's a plethora of loans available.
So if someone wants to find out if they could qualify to buy a home, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, just get a hold of me through John at mainstreetloans.com, JOHN, at mainstreetloans.com. Be glad to answer any of your questions. We can tell you everything about first-time homebuyer programs. We can talk about down payment assistance and all of the things that go along with it, so that we'll empower you to be able to make a great decision.
Great. Thank you, John, for joining me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
thank you for joining us for this episode of Conversations with My Real Friends. We're glad to have you.